All right, thanks for tuning in to Jeeping It Easy. And you can see we got the Jeep parked in the shade because we got another issue we're going to tackle today. And let me go ahead and get started. All right, it's going to be another hot, sunny, humid day here in Maiden, North Carolina. And today we're going to be tackling a issue that I have, which is now the fourth issue. And I think it's going to be a small and easy one, which is basically when I turn the blower motor on third or fourth position, I hear a lot of vibration, like a rumbling noise coming from the dash. So it could be the blower motor, the bearings are going out in it, but the blower motor on this is very easy to get to. I think they changed it in '04, and it's underneath the passenger footwell, just below the glove box, and you just reach right up there and spin it out. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that out and find out what's causing that noise. It could also be that it's cluttered with lots of debris, because basically the only thing that you have is that little piece of mesh or something right there that stops it, but somehow it still gets in there. So it could be from up underneath the hood somewhere, or I don't know. Somehow that debris gets into there, and I've seen like helicopters and all kind of stuff get past that somehow. So we're gonna see if that may be the problem, or if it's not, like I said, the bearings or something going out in the blower motor. But stay tuned, and like I said, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get this fixed. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't get this debris out with just removing the fan. When they're in the horizontal like that and facing up, with the blades facing up, there's like a bowl there, and a lot of debris gets stuck in that bowl, and then it just sits there and collects moisture and starts really smelling nasty. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out and see if we can't find out what is causing that noise. Get this key out of here for now. All right, and this thing just simply twists out. I need to go up under here and find out how to get the electrical connector off. I think it has one of those little red tabs on it. I'm not 100% sure yet, but I know the fan itself, it just twists out. So we're going to go ahead and get that out, and then we're going to find out what it looks like when I drop it. Okay, there's the electrical connector there, and yes, there is a safety tab on there. For some reason, I don't really understand why you would need a safety tab on the fan, but we're going to go ahead and get that safety tab removed, and then see if we can pop that out. Let's see if we can get this lined up. All right, there we go. Just push from the other side, and then we should just be able to push it on this. There we go. And voila. All right, we have the connector out. Trying to keep this wire out of the way. Somebody decided to run an RCA wire to it back there. There's a tab up. If you're looking at it from the passenger footwell, straight down at it, there is a tab at like the 1 o'clock position. And basically you just grab it with your finger and you just pull down on it. And then you just turn it to the right, and you're out. All right. And we pulled it out, and this is where the noise is coming from. And this is a factory fan. You can see there's quite a bit of debris in there. We're going to blow this out and try to clean it up a little bit and test the bearings. It looks like, yeah, this thing's still nice and tight. Let's see here. Sometimes this stuff's really kicked in there, like in here. See it right there? You get a screwdriver down in there and try to break that up a little bit. But we're gonna try to get the best out we can with a screwdriver. Get it all out of there. And then we're going to hit it with some brake clean and see if we can get the rest of it out. A little more air. It's getting better. It's almost all out of there. And I actually think this is the #1 reason why these fans go bad, is they get all this dirt and debris in them. They just stop functioning properly, or it takes too much to turn it and it strains the motors and the bearings on them. And that's eventually makes them burn out. I think I caught this one just in time. So if you start hearing that, it's kind of like a vibration in the dashboard when you have the blower on. Take the blower out, clean it out, try to get it back to at least being somewhat clean, and you might save yourself from having to buy a fan. Right, so we have O'Reilly, not sponsored. Now, one thing that I can also tell you is when you're blowing this out, try to get in between the fan and the plastic body right there, and then try to blow your electrical connector out as well. Now, I'm using a plastic drain bin down there, which, you know, a lot of people don't do, but I'm just trying to capture as much of the fluid as I can so it doesn't go into the grass. As you can see, it's quite a bit cleaner. You're not going to get all of that out unless you get some type of bristle brush down in there, like an old toothbrush or something. Hardened the fan running, but I just wanted to make this part real quick and didn't feel like turning the fan off because it's 97 degrees out here today. But I went ahead and opted to get a wire, or not a wire bristle brush, but a plastic bristle brush. And I'm basically going inside all of these to try to get as much of this dust and dirt off them as I can. I don't know if you've ever had a dirty house fan that collects dust around the fan blades, but if you did, you'll know that they don't operate as well as when they're clean. So we're going to try to get all this off with plastic bristle brush and try to get it back into the Jeep. Harden the fan again. The brush really didn't reach a whole lot. It got like the tops up here, a lot of the debris broken free on them. So another way I've found to try to get all of that stuff up inside of there and, you know, all up inside of here out is basically just take your flathead screwdriver and you put it inside of a piece of cloth and you just push it through the fins. If you have Q-tips with alcohol or something like that, it might be a little easier. This works as well if you don't have any Q-tips. Q-tips seem like they will work really well because they get down in there pretty good. Alright, I did find an easier way to do this. I have an abundance of these lead begons from Hops, and it's basically like a cloth you wipe your hands off with. It gets everything off of your hands that soap won't get, especially lead. And I basically just wadded it up to where it's nice and thick, and then I just put a nice little thin screwdriver in it and just run it backwards and forwards through the fins. And you can see the fins are actually getting nice and clean in there now. So this little tip, but like I said, a Q-tip with some solvent on it would probably do the same thing. I don't have any Q-tips, so I got to make do with what I got. All right, so you got it all cleaned up. You're ready to put it back in. You want to make sure you get it orientated correctly so you can get it up there into the locks and get it locked. That little tab I had to pull down is right there, and basically that pushes up towards the dash and into a little lock spot to keep you from turning it while that's there. So you have to push it down, which mine is not flexible anymore, so it's probably not going to work anymore. It's ready to break off. But you have to push that towards the floorboard and then turn it to get it out. So I would imagine I'm going to have to turn it the reverse direction. Your electrical plug here is going to face the passenger side footwell, almost pointing straight at it when it's back in the correct position. So you're going to have to turn it a little bit towards the clockwise direction, I believe, to get it up into the spot to turn it this way to get the lock back in position. All right, let's see if we can get that done. I don't know how much I'm going to catch with the camera because my hands are probably going to be in the way most of the time. All right, as you can see, I already got it back in. My hands were basically in the way while I was doing all this, so you wouldn't be able to see much anyways. But if you can see that little bolt right there, that's about where this electrical connection will be when you get it lined up right to get it pushed up in, and then you turn it counterclockwise to lock it. And I'm trying to see if I can see that little lock tab. It's right there to the, it's like above the electrical connection on this video right here. That little lock tab pushes back up in there. And it doesn't take much to push it up in there. Mine's really weak, like I said, because the plastic is getting old now. But we got it back in. All right, we're going to put it in the accessory position and see if the electrical fan is quieter from cleaning it, or if it's going to need a new one. All right, we have the key in the on position. So we're in the first. Now we're in the second, and that was quiet in the second one before. I can already feel the difference of the air coming out of the vents is a lot more. So we're going to go to the third. That's where we started getting noisy at. So far, so good. Fourth position, full blast. It is really blowing a lot stronger now, and no noise. So if you have that rumbling noise in your dash when you have the fans on, the third or fourth position, maybe even the first or second position, considering how much garbage you have up in there, then you might want to try pulling that fan out and cleaning it. The 97 to 02 or 03, I believe, they were behind the battery in the engine bay. I think 04, 05, 06, they moved them down here to the passenger footwell, which, my God, it is so much easier. You can get that sucker in and out in 5 minutes, no problem. You do not have to remove the glove box, which I did, and I thought I could see it from here, but no, it's actually way down here in the floorboard area. So there you have it. If you have the rumbling noise, which was, I guess, considered the fourth problem that I've had with the Wrangler now, was the fans weren't blowing very strong and I had a rumbling noise in the dash. It doesn't always mean that you need a new blower motor. It may be clogged with garbage, twigs and sticks and helicopters and grass. The heater core, which I will show you, I used the depth deck, my endoscope, and I went up inside the hole where the blower motor goes, and I could see the heater core, and the heater core had some sticks and twigs around it and some kind of black material stuck in the fins. I'm thinking that the guy that sold this to me knew that there was a heater core leak and put some kind of bars leaks or something in there, because that's exactly what that stuff looks like. It's black and it's gunked up on the heater core. So far, the heater core does not seem to be leaking. And I know it is a pain in the butt to get those out of here, because if I can remember correctly, I think the whole dash has to come out for these. It looks like you can get to a lot of the screws and all right here to get the box out. So I'm not sure if these newer models, the 04, 05, and 06, you can get them out without taking the dash out. But if I could, that would be amazing, because I got a feeling that that sucker's probably going to leak eventually. All right, well, there we go. The fourth problem with the Wrangler, easy fix. Take the fan out, clean the gunk out of it, and I am set. So I will see you guys on the next video, and please subscribe. I really need subscribers. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 so I can at least get some type of monetization and start getting paid for some of these videos. These little issues that I'm having right now, they're basically what they are. Little maintenance type issues. Thanks for joining me along the ride, and remember to keep jeeping it easy.